Good day and welcome to class. This is the 7th module in poultry farming, and we'll be considering poultry production system and ignorance. The content of the module include production systems, capital involved in setting up a poultry farm, cost analysis and budgeting, economic evaluation and profitability. Poultry production system. As an overview, we have our intensive system, we have the semi-intensive, and we have the extensive system. For the intensive system, it makes use of high input and technology-driven confined housing for the production of the for poultry production, and it is usually best for large-scale commercial production. For instance, broiler and layers. The advantage of intensive system is it has high productivity. It is efficient. It has efficient feed use and disease control. However, there's high startup cost and it requires skilled management. For the semi-intensive, this combines shelter and outdoor access. It is best for small to medium-scale farmers. The advantage is it has a lower capital cost, better bird welfare, and it's reduced feed cost. However, there's lower productivity and it ensures exposure to predators and weather are also disadvantages. For the extensive system, this is a free-ranging, moving around, low input, scavenging form of production system in poultry, and it's usually best for rural household, backyard farmers, backyard farming. And the advantage is that there is a low cost and birds are usually hardy. They are resistant to different conditions. However, there is a very low productivity and there is high mortality and high risk. Capital investment and working in poultry farming. There is the fixed and the working capital. The fixed capital is a one-time, long-term investment, and it includes land and site preparation, housing and buildings, equipment, water and power installation, vehicles. All these equipment, all these resources are needed for a long time. Once gotten, they can be reused over time. However, for working capital, these are recurring operational costs which are needed at a specific production period. Example are day-old chicks, feed, vaccines and medication, labor, and lastly, utilities and marketing. Feed, talking about feed cost. Feed accounts 60 to 70% of the total operational cost, and the key strategy is to optimize the feed conversion ratio to improve efficiency. The action to take is to 1. Provide balanced, high-quality feed. Number 2 is to prevent feed wastage through proper feed management. Number 3 is to monitor the feed conversion ratio to track flock performance. So controlling the feed cost and efficiency is the single biggest lever for profitability in poultry farming. Cost analysis. How do you understand your expenses? We have the fixed cost, we have the variable cost. The fixed costs do not change with flock size. These are the costs you use for housing and equipment. However, the variable cost will usually fluctuate with production level, and these are the costs on feed, on chicks, on vaccines, on utilities. So the total cost you use on farm or in your business is equals to fixed cost plus the total variable cost. Cost analysis help you to identify major cost drivers and opportunities for savings. Budgeting in poultry farming. A budget is a detailed financial plan for a production cycle, and the key component of the budget is you have to include projected revenue, that is what you expect to as a return from the sale of bird, of eggs, of manure, and other equipment and other resources. And also another component is projected expenditure. All the fixed and variable costs can be budgeted, can be estimated. Then the gross margin, this is derived by removing the variable cost from the revenue generated. And also the net profit, this is derived by removing the fixed cost from the gross margin. So budgeting prevents cash flow problems and guides financial decisions in your poultry farming business. Gross margin and net profit. How do you measure financial performance? You measure through gross margin, and gross margin is calculated by first deriving the total revenue, then you remove the total variable cost from the total revenue. Gross margin shows how much money is available to cover fixed costs and to generate profit. Don't forget the fixed costs are cost of fixed items like land and equipment and the likes. Net profit is also a way to measure financial performance, and this is calculated by removing the total cost, both fixed and variable costs, from the total revenue realized on the farm. So a positive value for net profit means the business is profitable. So both gross margin and net profit are metrics that are very essential for evaluating the success of each flock cycle. Evaluation of economic evaluation. This is the assessment of the financial outcome of a poultry business over a specific period of time or specific production period. It compares the total cost incurred with the total revenue generated to determine how efficiently the enterprise is operating. It answers critical questions such as, is the business profitable? What costs are too high? And the likes. Components of economic evaluation include the total cost, as I've explained earlier. The total revenue is calculated by multiplying the quantity of maybe of items sold by the price per unit, and also the gross margin, and last the net profit. A positive value indicates profitability, while a negative value of net profit shows loss. Then another key economic evaluation is the benefit cost ratio. This shows how much revenue is generated per unit amount spent. Now, the formula for benefit cost ratio is total revenue divided by the total cost. If you calculate this and you get a value greater than 1, it means your poultry endeavor is profitable. For instance, a BCR of 1.3 means 1 naira 30 kobo earned for every 1 naira spent. If you have a BCR of 1, that means you break even, no profit, no loss. However, if there is a lesser value than 1, it means you are operating at a loss. So you need to take note of this. Another factor or another economic evaluator is the break-even analysis. This determines the minimum number of birds or eggs you must sell at a given price to cover all costs. So you can check the main material for better understanding of all these calculations. Factors influencing profitability. What drives financial success in poultry farming? Number 1 is feed cost and efficiency. Number 2 is mortality rates. Number 3 is market price. Number 4 is scale of production. A large farm often benefits from lower cost per bed. This is called economies of scale. And lastly, the management part is good hygienic vaccination and record keeping prevents loss and optimizes performance. Let's look at this practical example. Item used on the farm, the variable cost is 600,000, the fixed cost is 150,000. So the total cost is the addition of variable and fixed cost, which is 750,000 naira. Now the total revenue is 800,000. If you want to calculate the net profit, you note the total cost from the total revenue, which is 50,000 naira. And for the VCR, we divide the total revenue here by total cost, which gives a value of 1.07 naira. And this farm is profitable, earning 1 naira 0.7 kobo for every 1 naira spent. So in conclusion, choosing the right production system aligns with your resources and goals. Understanding capital requirements prevent underfunding. Cost analysis and budgeting provide financial control and clarity. Regular economic evaluation confirms profitability and guides future strategy. Mastery of all these economic principles is essential for building a resilient and profitable poultry enterprise. Thank you, and keep practicing, keep moving.